Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. Got a real good feeling. Like there is lightning deep in my bones. Yeah, I got a real good feeling. I won't hit no ceiling. I'm going higher than I've ever known. I got a real good feeling.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we are going to be discussing how one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges, Binance, is under fire all around the world. Now we are seeing Binance be under fire in Singapore, the United Kingdom, and they might even be seeing some flack coming from none other than the Securities and Exchange Commission here in the United States of America. And we're also going to be talking about a couple of other big news stories. We have some major contenders with Coinbase that we're going to be discussing in a little bit, and we have a report coming from JP Morgan that we want to go over, but we have some technical analysis that we need to do in today's stream as well. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, looking for any trade setups that we can do over there. We got a lot of great content lined up for you guys today. Make sure to smash that like button and hit that post notification bell if you're subscribed and haven't already done so. Thank you guys so much for the 130K subs. And before I introduce Tim, we got the silver play button in yesterday. It came in the mail.
Bing!
Boom, let's go. We will be working on an unboxing on that. We will be working on an unboxing on that.
Did you say twerking?
No, I did not. I said I was trying to say we will be doing, and then I switched to working, so I said dworking. So we are dworking on an unboxing for the silver play button. That will be coming in the next week or so. Tim, how are you doing, my friend?
You know what? Despite the fact that I did not win this week, I'm still doing pretty good. It was probably the closest race we have ever had here at the end, like literally down to the minute. This morning, if we had called it at I think 8:40, 8:40, Smay was the winner, and then because it's not getting called until 9:30, I think the winner for this week is Jebb.
Yo.
He won.
I want a verification.
No, I did the math. Okay, so we'll wrap you guys up here really quick before it's, and also Smay's microphone's still broken, but it should be back on Monday, so you'll hear him yelling from time to time. You want to flip over to Smay real quick before we?
What you got, Smay?
Smay, you want to yell at the people?
You didn't introduce me.
It's our
Welcome
producer,
to
Smay.
our producer, the one and only Smangatan.
You can't hear me, but I love you.
You can't see me. Anyway, what do we got?
Hopefully you can read lips. All right, here is the thing. So it looked early in the week like my prediction of 38.5 was a good prediction, and that got ruined around Wednesday, and it got sandwiched right between Smay and Jebb. However, for Jebb to have won that one, it would have had to get over 33,700. It did not do that. So Smay's $31,000 prediction beats out Jebb's 36,400 prediction. But that is where it stops, because now we move to Ethereum, where Jebb said 1999, and the next closest would have been, the next closest would have me at 2,450, but it is closest, obviously, to 1999. Unfortunately, Smay had 1975 right below Jebb. So we do give Ethereum to Jebb, and then the last one, Cardano. Cardano was interesting, because for a second it looked like maybe it would get up to my prediction at 150, but it did come back down to about 134 right now, which puts it squarely in the camp of Jebb's 138. It's closer to 138 than it is to Smay's 125. So Jebb is the winner. Congratulations, Jebb.
Let's go. Thank you very much,
I think that
Tim.
is what. Now we got 2 wins for Jebb, 2 wins for Smay, and 1 win for Tim. So it's still a close race. Now here's the thing. Originally, JD, if you are watching, you asked us to give it to there's a prize inside the box.
Yes, indeed.
That the winner of the first 6 gets to take out. If we keep up this close race, it would take 4 months before we find out what is in that box. So I think we might audible the rules and make it the first to 4. So potentially both Jebb and Smay are 2 weeks away from opening that box, but we shall see.
We shall see. Well, guys, we have some articles that we want to go over here. I'm going to go ahead and summarize them really quickly. I'm not going to go into too much detail on all of these because you've already heard one of them. Binance has had futures contracts and other derivatives banned in the United Kingdom by their regulatory body over there, the FCA. And now we are also seeing similar things happening in Singapore and also from the Thai courts. We are seeing Singapore's financial watchdogs following up on global Binance concerns. I'm going to read here from this article over on CoinDesk briefly. The regulator is expecting to follow up with the company's local subsidiary, Binance Asia Services PTE, following global developments. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, the country's financial regulator and central bank, said it is closely watching the regulatory developments surrounding Binance Holdings Limited. The country's financial watchdog is expected to follow up with the company's local subsidiary, Binance Asia Services PTE, Bloomberg reported Wednesday. The subsidiary has a grace period while it awaits a review of its licensing application. Binance, in an email response to CoinDesk query, said it doesn't comment on communication and engagement with regulators. There is quite a bit of concern about Binance around the world right now because it seems like Binance is getting looked at quite heavily by regulators. We're also seeing a similar thing happening from the Thai officials. Crypto exchange Binance hit by criminal complaint from Thai regulators. Thailand's financial watchdog filed a criminal complaint against cryptocurrency exchange Binance on Friday for operating a digital asset business without a license, the latest in a string of crackdowns on the platform by regulators globally. Binance, as you guys know, is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the entire sector, and the fact that we're seeing so much regulatory scrutiny on Binance itself is concerning because we want to see regulation happen in cryptocurrency. I talked about this on Around the Blockchain yesterday. We want to see clarity around regulation. Number one, regulation is coming. And number two, regulation is not necessarily a bad thing. Regulation can actually be a very good thing for the adoption and the development of cryptocurrency. Regulation does not have to be a four-letter word. It can actually be a very important thing to the development of a space. The regulators, however, should not be trying to stifle the innovation of the space. They should be seeking to protect us from scammers and Ponzi schemers. That is what the government's job is to do, not to tell us how we should be operating the economy. That being said, these government bodies now in the United Kingdom, now in Singapore, and now in Thailand, they are all looking very closely at Binance, and there's a lot of scrutiny going on, and I'm sure Changping Zhao is very much concerned about this. Now, I don't want to spread any FUD here. There is quite a bit going on in the news with Binance, but I also want to be very clear, not much has actually occurred yet. As far as Binance being able to operate in the United Kingdom, it's only part of their services that are not able to be accessed by citizens of the United Kingdom, and it only applies to the United Kingdom, and we haven't really seen a whole lot happen in Thailand and Singapore just yet. The story here is not that something major has occurred. The story here is that there is a lot of scrutiny, and we're also now starting to see the SEC, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, move in that direction of looking into Binance. This is something that we want to be paying very close attention to because how the government goes about regulating Bitcoin and cryptocurrency over the next couple of years is going to set the trajectory of Bitcoin, and the governments that don't regulate Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies correctly, i.e. in a very limited way, in a way that is designed to protect us, not control us, the nations that don't do that, and the nations that do seek to control us, they are going to fail. They are not going to see massive amounts of Bitcoin and blockchain adoption in their nation, and they're going to get left behind by countries that are more friendly to it. El Salvador being a good example as of late. So Tim, I want to hear your opinion on all of this. Why do you think Binance is under so much scrutiny, and should we be worried about this as investors?
Well, I don't use Binance, so me as the investor, I don't know. It is. Someone corrected me yesterday. I said Coinbase was the largest exchange. Coinbase, I think, is the largest exchange in the United States. I think worldwide it is Binance. So
yes.
Now that the same argument I made yesterday about Coinbase news is really big because of its a massive amount of control in the market. Binance is as well. Here is the thing though about Binance. Someone even just pointed out in chat, which is something I didn't know. Josh Burson said that it's kind of funny because Singapore is where I think he said it was created. Let me see. I'm going back to his. He said that is where Bybit and Femex are from. They're from Singapore. So
yes,
is there something going on there? We are. Someone asked. I was watching a different video where someone asked, are we in manipulation? The thing is, I would like to it's never fun to speculate on all that stuff. But like, I think that there's actually a sense that we're probably never out of manipulation. I think that as long as stocks and trading exists and retail investors are trying to make wise decisions to make money, I think there's always going to be the bigger guys trying to manipulate the markets to do what they want. The question is, do we hold on and not buy into every piece of FUD or every piece of FOMO? So as far as this Binance news, I think that it's a little too early to tell exactly what is going to happen. First of all, none of that was concrete. It's all speculation and looking into. But we've seen before, like what's happening right now with XRP, where the SEC went after them, and it is looking like they're going to be unsuccessful. Maybe we're going to see a similar thing happen in Singapore.
Yeah. No.
Or Thailand. Sorry, Thailand is where the SEC is going after Binance. Yep.
Yeah. So, guys, we really need to be careful about this because I think we're entering a period in history where we're going to see a lot of government intervention in cryptocurrency and blockchain. It's going to happen, and unfortunately, there's not a lot that we can do about that. But what we can do is be very vocal about how that goes, because the last thing we need are regulators coming into this sector that was designed to take on the people that never had our best interest at heart in the first place. The last thing that we need is to have regulations and crackdowns on the cryptocurrency sector that are bad for the investor for the benefit of the federal governments around the world. So we want to be paying very close attention to this. Right now, like we said, there's nothing conclusive going on, but this is something that we'll be keeping up to date with here on the channel.
We're also going to talk about it here in just a second, but the other reason why I don't know if this is going to be huge, let's say Binance does, get cracked down and they end up shrinking. I think it's one of those things that like someone else will step up and take their place. I don't think it's like Binance crashes and all of a sudden. Same thing like with China. Everyone's so concerned. Oh no, the hash rate is dropping because China is banning mining. Well, what's going to happen, and we're seeing it play out, is other countries are just going to absorb all that technology and all that mining. So I think it's going to be a similar thing. If Binance crashes, which I'm not saying it will, other exchanges will take up what was left off. Yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about economies, is that they naturally tend towards a capitalistic nature where you have competition. Free market competition, in a sense, in a capitalistic sense, has always existed. The only time that it doesn't exist in history is a time where a nation state or a powerful entity tries to prevent it from occurring. Whenever a nation cracks down on Bitcoin, another nation will rise up and start using it because there is a competitive advantage to the nations that adopt sound money. Not in the immediate term, because short-term gratification is what we are all drunk on right now, with debasing our currencies, inflation taxing ourselves into oblivion, and funding a bunch of projects that we simply cannot afford because we think that we want to be socialist states. That's not how proper economies work, and every time that one has been tried in history, it has failed categorically. Capitalism is the only system of economics that actually works, and the good news is that it works despite and through and overtakes the other systems where centralized authorities try and impose their ideologies on us. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, no matter how they're regulated, no matter by whom, they will always continue to succeed because they provide value to their end user, and those end users will continue to use them somewhere in the world, even if we see regulation occurring. So, Tim, what are we seeing in chat here? Is there any good questions that we can answer?
I mean, just a lot of people talking about Binance. I've seen a couple of people talk about no Binance in U.S. in Texas, no Binance U.S. in Texas, because I think they talking about Binance U.S. There was a good question, Crypto Jebb. I want to know about your fitness routine. Are you bulking or cutting, calorie surplus or deficit? Is Mr. Olympia, not Crypto Tim, training you?
Oh my gosh.
I was not really much anymore. Our schedule is crazy, but what are you working on now?
Right now I'm working on my nutrition. So I haven't been working out regularly in the last 4 weeks or so because I've been trying to get my nutrition fixed, because I've been eating like crap for the longest time because we work a lot here and I'm not used to it, and I'm trying to get all my habits figured out. You guys know I'm trying to figure out how to run a company, and I'm trying to figure out how to, take care of myself. I am only 20 after all, and it's hard, moving out on your own and trying to figure out how to actually feed yourself. Like, I'm trying to figure that out. So I'm working with a nutritional consultant.
If you are a fan of the show and you've been here for a while, though, go back and watch videos, look at pictures of Jebb back, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I
was a lot skinnier back then.
Yeah, he is filling out those shirts nice now.
Yeah, so I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
A couple relevant questions I think that it would be good about Binance. I saw one right here. Give me just a second. There's one that says, I'm from Malaysia. I stack all my ADA at Binance. Should I pull it out now?
From Malaysia. Well, I don't know what Malaysia and Binance's relationship is. if you are holding cryptocurrency on exchange, is generally not a good idea. I always prefer for people to hold their cryptocurrencies in themselves, not having some other entity holding it for them. We want to be our own bank, as people have said. This is the whole point of decentralized finance, is helping us to get away from centralized banks that hold all of our money, and then they lend it out fractionally reserved, and then they go and make 6% on our money, and then we get nothing on a savings account, and then we're just left here suffering with inflation, where the banks are off making a fortune with the money that we have sitting in them. Right now, we are struggling with that. But the good news is cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and DeFi and all these different projects are the way that we can take that power back. We should be taking advantage of that wherever we can, in my opinion. That's why I hold all of my private keys. I don't have very much money at all on exchanges. I think that it is safe to have money on certain exchanges. I think Binance is a safe exchange. If it got shut down or something by Malaysia, you would surely have time to pull it out. I don't think that would be a concern. I don't know, maybe not, but I don't think so. I would say that it's better for you to hold on to those keys on your own, though.
Yeah. Real quick, before we move on to the next story, we have 2 super chats. One from Ben Adame saying 88. Okay.
Probably means
I think it is, yeah. 88 is now a part of the Grayscale Fund.
Let's go. I didn't know that. Good deal, Grayscale.
And then Yair Navarro says, great along the blockchain show yesterday.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yair. Awesome.
Real quick, another one. So I think Alan Carey raises a great point. Says he was in CT2A. He was asking me, Tim, could we have like next to the videos a version number instead of just updated? Because he said that would be a lot clearer. Let us know in chat if you are part of CT2A and you would like that. That is something I definitely could talk to our marketing director about. If that would help you guys out, let us know in chat so that we can help you guys the best we can.
Good deal, guys. We're going to go ahead and move on here. We got a couple of other articles. Jack Mallers' strike rolls out Bitcoin buys going head-to-head with Coinbase. Your move, Brian Armstrong. Come play basketball in my court, says Strike's CEO. Them's are fighting words if I've ever heard some. Okay. Strike is letting its U.S. customers buy and sell Bitcoin for almost zero in fees, sending shots across the bow of Coinbase, Square's Cash App, PayPal, and other incumbents. The Chicago-based startup, best known for helping El Salvador adopt Bitcoin, said Thursday it would charge only around 0.3% for brokering Bitcoin trades in the 48 states and other U.S. jurisdictions where Strike operates. By comparison, Coinbase, which went public on the NASDAQ earlier this year, collects as much as 3.99%, depending on the payment method and transaction size. Jack Mallers, founder and CEO of Strike, and his parent company Zap Technologies, likened the move to throwing a grenade in Coinbase's headquarters. In a blog post, he called Coinbase's fees asinine. Interesting. This is an opinion held by many people. And I know that this is an opinion held by many people because I remember one time when I was starting the YouTube channel and we had I think I had 2,000 subscribers. It was in the spring semester in my high school year in my senior year of high school, and I was dual enrolled at the college, and I was talking to a friend of mine named Alex, who actually made the original channel logo for this channel. I was talking to him in a political science class, and then I was talking to him about Coinbase, and this dude across the room just yells, "Coinbase sucks! Their fees are high!" Literally, I was just having a conversation, he just yells that. It was really funny, and that was the first I heard about people hating Coinbase, and I've heard a lot of it since then. I don't hate Coinbase. I think it's a fantastic platform. But yeah, the fees are pretty high depending on how you're transacting with it. Tim, I'd love to hear what you think about these fighting words that he is using.
I don't know too much other than what I've read, and I've seen some people say that when you invest with Coinbase, what you're investing is poop coins. What you're doing is they're going to take a little extra of that money and they're going to invest it in little things. I think it's good. I like that Coinbase is able to add a lot of different variety of coins on there for people to be able to trade. I unfortunately don't know enough about the exchange world to give a very defined answer to that question, though. I don't know if I can really give any input there. Yeah,
well, guys, here's the thing. Exactly as we were saying earlier, free market capitalism is always going to reign supreme. If there is an exchange that can provide a similar service for less money, people are going to use it. And that is going to be what drives prices down on Coinbase. If anything, if Strike is able to come out and start, striking Coinbase, then they are going to be able to help drive down those prices on Coinbase because people want to pay less in fees. Duh. If they are able to offer the same product with lower fees while also being a profitable company, and this is something that I don't think people are thinking about, Coinbase charges all of those fees because they have a $150 billion company to operate. They have very high operating expenses to be able to offer the kind of product that they have. If Strike wants to offer a similar product with much less money, are they profitable? Are they solvent? Are they completely running off of investment capital and seed funding? I don't know. I don't know the financials of Strike. To my knowledge, I don't think they're public. But it is something that you want to be paying attention to if you are Strike. Can you actually compete with Coinbase and stay solvent? Because people have tried this many times in the history of capitalism, trying to attack a Walmart or trying to attack a major big box supermarket store, or trying to attack Amazon, saying, we're going to slash our prices and undercut you. Well, yeah, but the big guy has $100 billion on hand. Good luck with that. You're not going to be able to last as long as he has. He can win a war of attrition. That is what I'm worried about with Strike here. Are they able to actually turn a profit, offer a similar product, and not go bankrupt? If they can, then it's going to be good for the market. If not, good luck to Strike and their CEO. Anywho, do you have any other thoughts on that, Tim?
I'm excited for it. I'd love to see what happens there. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to rush over and do that, but I've seen also in chat a lot of people saying Coinbase Pro, the fees are a lot easier to swallow. It's a lot better. So a lot of people like Coinbase Pro. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else. There's a lot of great comments in chat today, and I wish I could answer every question and talk about every single thing. However, I don't know if I can. So I'm going to do my best today to direct questions to Jebb. But I think we should go ahead and move on, get the rest of our news stories before we jump into some
let's go ahead and knock this out. We got one more thing. JP Morgan report, Ethereum 2.0 could kickstart $40 billion staking industry by 2025. CEO Jamie Dimon may not support crypto, but two JP Morgan analysts say proof-of-stake coin yields are attractive investments in this zero-rate environment. Interest rates have been cut to near zero over the last 12 months in an effort to resuscitate the economy in wake of COVID. You guys saw the Federal Reserve back in, I think, March of last year. They cut interest rates to literally 0.01% for a little bit. They actually dipped negative for like one day. It didn't last very long. Luckily, we're not dealing with negative interest rates like places in Europe are, but people are not able to make anything on savings accounts. They're not able to make anything on any kind of interest-bearing yield. Bonds, nothing. There's no money at all. The interest rates are dead. And to be honest with you, a lot of the interest rates are built on the back of inflationary monetary policy, so I'm actually okay with that. So long as we're able to resuscitate the economy and continue moving towards Bitcoin and blockchain adoption, that's okay. It also means that if you're trying to buy real estate, you can get a really nice loan right now. This is where cryptocurrency comes in. DeFi right now has very, very high interest rates depending on what exactly you are doing. Some places you can stake different cryptocurrencies and yield farm 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15% a year. Now, some of that is like 12 million% a year. It's obviously a scam. But there is actually some legitimate and solid staking options out there in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. What you want to be careful of is you want to be careful of staking all of your cryptocurrency in a company or in a DeFi project and then it being a scam. There is so many scams in cryptocurrency right now. The last thing I want you guys to do is fall for one. Anyway, I'm off topic. The launch of the energy-efficient Ethereum 2.0 network will popularize the proof-of-stake consensus mechanism and make staking yields a more attractive source of income for both institutional and retail investors, according to a new JP Morgan report. The author estimates that holders of staked coins on POS blockchains are currently generating some $9 billion in revenue annually from their staked holdings. When Ethereum completes its transition from proof of work to proof of stake next year, hopefully next year, the analysts expect payouts will more than double to $20 billion. They project staking yields across the blockchain industry to double again to $40 billion by 2025. Anyone who doesn't believe that there is fundamental development going on the cryptocurrencies in the cryptocurrency sector, I point you in this direction. People are making a killing on cryptocurrency staking right now, and it is a real industry where people are making real money and real products are being built that are giving real customers real solutions to real problems. That is happening, and that is the sign of a rapidly maturing industry. That's the sign of any maturing industry, is an industry that is able to solve problems for its users. That's what we're seeing happen right now. Bitcoin is solving problems for people in El Salvador who don't have a currency that hasn't been debased. DeFi is solving problems for people that don't have bank accounts because they've been shut down or they don't have one in their nation, and people that have been left behind by our traditional financial systems. DeFi and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these projects are providing real solutions to real people, and it is going to be the reason that the future of crypto looks bright. This is a good story. It's interesting to see JP Morgan say it because Jamie Dimon cannot decide which way he wants to to blow. He's blowing about every which way the wind goes lately on cryptocurrency, but his company seems to be bullish on Bitcoin. It would take a fool not to be. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and read some chat here, and then we're going to jump on to some technical analysis.
We got a couple people. I know I'm going back and forth with Chris saying that tomorrow is going to be the day. He's like, the people that have been holding are going to be rewarded. We're going to see price go up. I think potentially, yes. I do think, we just had a head, and we're going to cover this probably here in a little bit. We just had a head and shoulders pattern play out on Bitcoin that would put us down to about 31, which would make a lot of sense. We also have a descending level of resistance that we're kind of bumping. We broke through a little bit, but we also could just drop right below it again. So again, is it possible? Absolutely. But there's a couple things that need to play off before I would say guaranteed we're going to see tomorrow jump up to like 37, 38. Do you have a thought there before I move on?
No, go ahead.
Did you see a comment you wanted to respond to?
Yeah, I saw a couple. First of all, Corey donated $5. He said, did anyone else think Jebb was 38? No, just me.
Oh, yeah, for real.
No, when I did the face reveal almost 2 years ago now, I told everyone I was 18, and I was 19 at the time. I'm sorry. I told everyone that, and if you go back and watch the video where I did the face reveal and you read the comments, there's literally 500 comments down there saying that. Someone said something really funny. Beach said, Tim, what do you think of your boss putting you in front of a paintball?
I think, it wasn't my official suggestion, but I was about it when it happened.
I don't think I think Tim is going to be the champion of this idea. I
am a big target, so that is not
That's true.
great, but I'm nimble, I'm athletic, I'll get in and out of things. There was one other super chat from John L that we did not get to because it was a little ways back up.
Okay.
But John L said, how to avoid fees and lockup periods on Coinbase. Deposit fiat in Coinbase is better than transferring fiat to Coinbase Pro, which is better than purchase assets, which is better than transfer assets back to Coinbase. So I'm kind of lost there, but maybe he's not even asking. Maybe he's saying that. He's saying how to avoid fees and lockup. Okay, I read it as better than deposit fiats into Coinbase, then transfer fiats to Coinbase Pro, then purchase the asset, and then transfer it back into Coinbase.
Oh, no, he's giving you instructions.
Yeah,
deposit fiat into Coinbase, transfer fiat to Coinbase Pro, purchase asset, transfer asset back to Coinbase. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. There's lower fees over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely should be doing that,
Before
guys.
we move on, I would love to know what the chat thinks, because we talked about it really briefly, and I know we're about to jump into some TA. However, what are your guys' thoughts on JP Morgan? I've been doing more digging. Yesterday, I went home and I did a lot of digging on JP Morgan, and especially in light of the news that happened yesterday with George Soros coming in, and it's been confirmed that he has been in his firm at least is trading Bitcoin. And you go back and look at the history of what his role and JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and all these different banks. I'm not saying this is it for certain, but JP Morgan and George Soros have a history of pumping and dumping projects, fudding projects, FOMOing projects, while they try to get everyone out so that they can buy low. They try to get everyone to buy in so they can sell high. It has gone over and over and over. I'm pretty stinking close to just saying I don't care what JP Morgan thinks whatsoever, because there's not a single word out of their mouth you can trust. In fact, when JP Morgan says something, I'm very tempted to think that it's exactly the opposite, which is terrible because I actually still like Ethereum, but I'm sitting here saying JP Morgan is pumping Ethereum. Oh no, is Ethereum about to have something rough happen to it? What are your guys' thoughts though in chat? Jebb, what are your thoughts on that? Because
my thought is Smay is sending all kind of heat towards BitBoy in the chat. He's like,
oh my God,
I'll do my holler and spook him, and then I'll load him up with my paintballs. Somebody asked it. I forgot that. What was the original question, Tim? I'm sorry.
What are your thoughts on JP Morgan in general making these types of comments? Can we actually trust anything that comes from them?
No.
Yeah, that's and it's weird. So I'm hoping that JP Morgan, I'm almost saying it's irrelevant. I do think the news of what's happening with London hard fork is nice. This concept that they're going to be burning coins. I think if you're holding Ethereum, I think the price is going to go up. However, I don't like I actually see, someone's commented yesterday, they're like, man, George Soros getting involved with Bitcoin makes me not as excited as I was.
I saw that.
I understand that.
I get it.
And it's the same thing with this JP Morgan coming out and saying, oh no, ETH 2.0 is going to be the greatest thing. It might be the future. I'm like, holy crap, that makes me not as excited about Ethereum anymore.
Yep.
Because JP Morgan is talking about it. And again, it's almost like you have to do the exact opposite of what they say. Smay, you have a thought? You want to yell?
You know what I think?
Oh my gosh.
JP Morgan, more like JP morons. Am I right, guys? Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Yeah. With that said, if you guys are enjoying today's wacky stream, make sure to hit that like button. Let's see if we can't get to 750 likes. We got a bunch of people here in chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and joining us today. If you're enjoying today's stream, also make sure to smash that subscribe button. Hit that post notification bell so you'll be updated every time we go live. We go live 9:30 Eastern Standard Time every single weekday. Good for you. Good to have you here is what I was trying to say. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and jump on to some Bitcoin technical analysis because we've got quite a bit that we want to talk about here. Let's start down here on the hourly chart for BTC. We currently have a head and shoulders pattern playing out on Bitcoin. You saw it yesterday. We talked about it on stream, and we talked about how it technically has a price target of $31,000. Now, the good news for everybody in Bitcoin is that we're currently attempting to move sideways instead of to the downside right here around this $33,500 mark. This sideways movement is very important because this could either result in Bitcoin continuing to the downside because it is technically a bear flag, or it could be looked at as a rounded bottom. This is something I talk about in a new CT2A video I recorded just a little while ago, and I'm going to talk about more in some new releases that we have coming out pretty soon that I can't tell you about. But one thing you got to keep in mind with these is that sometimes you're going to see certain patterns overlapping other patterns, and then they tell you two different things. Are we seeing a rounded bottom right now, or are we seeing a bear flag that should be pushing us to the downside with the head and shoulders pattern? It's a good question. Let's look. Right now, we're below the 20 exponential moving average, or at least we were until a couple of hours ago. We've broken bullish above it. If we look at the TD sequential down here, we will see that we had a bullish 9 flash back at 600 hours on the 1st of July. That was yesterday. And we've basically been trading sideways. I am more inclined to believe that we are going into some kind of rounded bottom here than into a descending trading channel and a descending bear flag right here, mainly because of the way that we have seen this market move recently. We have seen this market continue and do these kind of rounded tops, rounded bottoms. We've seen a lot of sideways movement, and we've already seen quite a bit of bearish movement over the last little while. We saw Bitcoin bottom out here on the hourly chart down around 30 relatively recently, and we still have this bullish RSI divergence with bottoms right here and bottoms right here on the RSI. So I'm inclined personally to believe that we're going to move to the upside. Taking a look at Lux Algo, we will see what it has to say. It actually is in the middle of a sell signal. I'll go ahead in here and readjust this. I like using 12 and 26 as my numbers here. It always seems to work pretty well for me. If we look at this, you can see that we had a buy signal there for a second, then it turned into a sell signal. Guys, by the way, if you don't know what Lux Algo is, you definitely should. Lux Algo is the most phenomenal indicator pack I have literally ever used in technical analysis and trading. It gives so many amazing signals, and I use it every single day here behind the scenes and on camera to teach you guys and to teach myself about technical analysis. It's really helpful. In fact, we have a video coming out on Lux Algo, I believe next Friday, to the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, so make sure to stay tuned for that for anyone who is in CT2A. Anyway, moving on here. By the way, you can sign up for Lux Algo with the link in the description box down below. Use coupon code Jebb, Jebb, for 20% off at checkout. We can also see here on the 4-hourly chart that a bullish MACD cross looks to be inbound on Bitcoin United States dollars. We have seen 12 hours of consistent convergence, bullish convergence on that MACD, which indicates that we might be looking for a bottom. And you can see here that we've seen a bunch of red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. We've seen so much sideways movement here that I'm inclined to believe that we are going through this kind of rounded bottom that I talked about. Looking out here to the daily chart, we can also see that the MACD is converging bearish, but it has not actually flipped just yet. We haven't had that bearish MACD cross just yet. And keep in mind, guys, we are still farther below the MACD histogram, below the zero level on the MACD than we pretty much ever have been in the history of Bitcoin. The lowest we have gotten ever was back over here before the last couple of months, was back over here in the beginning of February of 2018. Even though we might be going bearish right now, look at how far away we are from the zero level. We're still very overextended to the downside, and we should be expecting more rallies to come in the next couple of weeks, even if we see some short-term volatility like we saw right here. I do expect that we're going to see some longer-term movement to the upside, even if it's only up to like $40,000 during this sideways movement. We also are looking at Bitcoin being under the 20 exponential moving average on the daily chart. This is a level that we're going to have to look at. So, with everything I just said in mind, where does Bitcoin go next, and are there any trade setups on the chart? I personally think that right now is an important decision point. We are in between this level and this level. This top level of resistance at the moment is constituted by lows here at 800 hours on the 28th of June and right here at 1300 hours on the 30th of June. This was the shoulder level for this head and shoulders pattern, and it is now acting as our level of resistance. Our level of support is constituted by this bottom over here on the 27th of June at 1700 hours and the three bottoms that we've seen here on the 1st of July and today. On the 1st of July, I was at 1500 hours and it was at 2 a.m. today and 7 a.m. this morning. These levels of support and resistance are currently boxing in Bitcoin. Which direction Bitcoin breaks out of this sideways movement is going to more than likely be the direction that you want to trade. So similarly to how we don't trade triangle patterns until they break out and we trade them like right here, we don't trade in here, we trade right here. In a similar way, we want to wait until we've broken out of this sideways movement and then set a trade just above. So if you're looking to trade this market, I would be looking at an entry price for a long up here around $34,400 to $500. Very conservative stop loss in this case. We don't have a lot of clearly defined trends to work with. The clearer the trend, the better the trade. Keep that in mind. Or if we see Bitcoin dropping to the downside, enter a short position here around $32,400. Now, the reason I give you two is because I don't know which direction Bitcoin's going to break out. But whichever way Bitcoin breaks out, there is going to be profit potential. That's why I give you both. You can set up both of these trades, one on one account and one on another account, and then whichever one triggers, you go cancel the other one, and then boom, you're in a trade that is probably going to make you money. This is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. I would be happy to take any questions on that in the comment section below. Does that make sense to you, Tim?
No, it absolutely does. And even I've seen in comments people talking about, again, something that I've been talking about a while now, and I did a lot of studying yesterday. By no means am I ready to say I'm an expert, but as far as Wyckoff, some people are saying we're in phase D. Some people are saying in phase C. I don't even think we can confirm that we're out of phase B yet on the Wyckoff symbol, on the Wyckoff accumulation phase, if we're in one at all. Again, there's a lot of debate as to if we're there or not. But something when I was reading yesterday that was very clear that Wyckoff himself was clear about. He said this was made to help people read the markets and try to think the way that the investors, institutional investors are thinking. However, do not just throw away all reasoning to do that. So you got to continue to look at technical analysis as a whole to predict that. However, to get us into phase C, which is where we start to see that little turnaround and we start to kind of go back up against and break through our recent levels of resistance, what we need to see is evidence that the institutions are happy pretty much with where we've gone, and I don't know if we've gotten there yet. The reason why I think we might still be in phase B is because according to Wyckoff, we can hit that bottom level of support several times, because ultimately what is happening is these institutions are both selling and buying. They're just buying more than they're selling, but that's why it's called the accumulation phase. They're trying to accumulate a lot of coins and try to scare people out of it. I don't think that we are in a position right now yet where I think the institutions are satisfied. In fact, I think there's a lot of institutions that are kind of waiting for us to dip a little bit lower. They originally want us dipping down to maybe 20,000, maybe 24,000. Maybe we don't get down that far, but they're realizing, all right, we were a little wrong. There's a little too much retail investment support to get us that far. However, we definitely can go down and test that 30,000 again. We know we have a level of support at 29,000. If we can get it back down to there, we will be Gucci. 29,000, just so you guys know, is kind of the bottom of this trading range, and that's what Wyckoff teaches you. You have a trading range. It drops down to about 29,000 and kind of peaks at around 41, 42,000. We are squarely still in that, and I'm not necessarily convinced that we're out of our phase B of that. However, we will see that play out, but my take is, just like Jebb said, we could go up, we could go down. I think there's a little too much reasoning to be confident that we will go up, although that is a chance. In fact, I mean, the only reason why I think we might bounce back up, and this will be the last thing I say about Bitcoin before we move on, is we are sitting right there at the 0.618 of the Fibonacci retracement level. So that is one piece of evidence to say, hey, this might be a short-term bottom. We might resume back up for a little second. However, when you go back to the fundamentals and you go back to what is happening, I think there are lots of people trying to get it to come down at least one more time before we begin our rally. Yeah, and to be clear, guys, I personally think that we're going to break bullish out of this sideways movement that we're looking at here, and I'll show you really quickly on the chart, and then we're going to move on to Ethereum. There is an uptrending level of support here on Bitcoin with a bottom here on the 22nd of June, a bottom here on the 26th of June, and a bottom here just today.
I think that we're going to hold this and rally up through this symmetrical triangle pattern that we're currently forming. Which direction we break out of this is a much bigger concern than what we just talked about. We were talking about down here, but we also want to be paying attention to this larger pattern. When in doubt, zoom out, and that is what we want to keep in mind.
Yeah.
We will be keeping you guys up to date on those patterns and where Bitcoin might be headed next. We're going to go ahead and jump on over to Ethereum really quickly. Not too much to cover on Ethereum because its chart actually looks relatively similar to Bitcoin. Right now, we are currently rejecting off of or attempting to break through, depending on your perspective, the 20-hourly exponential moving average on Ethereum United States dollars, and we can see that we just had a bullish MACD cross down on the hourly. RSI is rallying, but not too strongly, but if we take a look here, I am looking for it. I thought I saw RSI divergence earlier. There is a little, you might be able to make an argument here that there is a form of RSI divergence right here. Not very strong, but just so you know, there is a flat level here and an uptrending level right here on RSI. Could indicate more price action to the upside. I'm not going to be too heavy on that. Volume, we had a pretty strong volume candlestick just last hour. That was a good sign. If we look at TD sequential, let's see if it's showing anything. Nothing at the moment. Want to take a look at Lux Algo while we're down here. Also using my favorite settings, 1226. We had a strong sell signal right here at the beginning of this downtrend, strong buy signal right there at the beginning of that uptrend. Look at how useful this indicator is, guys. Look, like, wow, that is amazing. Good for Lux Algo. I love this indicator. If you want to get it, check the link in the description box down below. We've had a ton of people sign up for it. Everybody seems to be loving it. By the way, in case you didn't know this, Lux Algo has actually been scrutinized by TradingView themselves. Engineers at TradingView and computer scientists at TradingView have gone into Lux Algo and into its open source code, looked at how it's written, and given it a seal of approval saying it's best in class. That is how you know that Lux Algo should be taken seriously. Anyway, moving on here, we can see that we're right now below the 20 exponential moving average on the 4-hourly chart, and we are very bearish on the MACD. However, over the last 4 hours, it looks like we might be about to see some convergence starting on Ethereum United States dollars. If this convergence continues, look out for a bullish MACD cross. You always want to be watching for these color changes on the histogram because they normally happen long before the MACD cross happens. The MACD cross can be a lagging indicator, but the histogram color change can be a leading indicator. That's what you want to look for, are leading indicators. Let's take a look at some of our other indicators. TD sequential has nothing serious to talk about. Volume is relatively low. RSI is sitting around 50. Looking out at the daily chart, we can also see in the longer term time frames, Ethereum has rejected below the 20 daily EMA. Notice how we had this bearish engulfing candlestick where the red candlestick was larger than the green. That is indicative that we rejected and that the bears won, at least in the short term. The question now is, who is going to win the next time we try and test the 20 EMA? Are we going to pull all the way down here to 1750 again like we did just a couple of weeks ago, like a couple of days ago, and then bounce back up and do this number and then break? Or is Ethereum only going to pull down a little bit more before trying to break out? I want you guys paying very close attention to this 20 exponential moving average right now because which direction we break from it, staying below it or getting above it is going to have major implications on the next couple of weeks of price action for Ethereum. As far as trade setups, I don't personally see a whole lot right now.
Yeah.
If we see Ethereum down here on the hourly chart attempt to break above the 20 hourly EMA, there's certainly a trade you can make here. I would encourage you to be careful. Notice the fake outs that we've had above this 20 EMA recently. I would be careful about entering a long position there. If you do, again, like I said on Bitcoin, use a very conservative stop loss. It's possible. I would be careful, though. That's my take. Do you see anything on it, Tim, that you would want to tell people?
What I would say is, on the 4-hourly chart, I definitely see RSI divergence. If you look at the dates, the 29th of June at 8 o'clock, and you look at the date of 30th of June at 1600, there is for sure bearish divergence there. Also, if you...
Where is it? Let me show it on the chart.
Okay, so look at the 30th. So I started the support line at the peak on the 29th at around 12 o'clock. And then if you also then take the level of resistance on the 30th of June at 1600.
Oh, you're looking at bearish RSI divergence.
Bearish.
Yeah,
yes.
This is good, yeah.
And when you do the Fibonacci retracement levels, so again, if I start that Fibonacci back on the 26th of June, and then we found our peak right there on the 30th, we are sitting just north right now of the 0.5, but we traditionally make it down to 0.618, at least get down that golden pocket. So I think potentially being in a downward wedge, I think Ethereum's going to break out of it eventually, but I don't think we've gotten quite where we need to get. I actually think Ethereum could drop as low as 1935. So what I might do is put like a buy order somewhere around like 1970, maybe 2000 if I'm feeling like Ethereum's going to break out sooner based off of news. I know that, whether I like it or not, that news of Goldman or JP Morgan talking about Ethereum is going to make some retail investors say, oh, okay, let me go ahead and get into Ethereum now.
Yep.
However, are they just saying that while secretly they're dumping some? So,
that's the question.
But according to technical analysis, I would say a smart move would be to expect it to get back down around 1935 before we resume an uptrend. But that is just my take. You guys got to make that decision for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you're enjoying today's stream, make sure to smash that like button. Let's see if we can't get to about 800-900 likes before we wrap the stream out here. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this content. And consider checking out the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. That is the academy that I launched nearly 3 years ago now that I've been using to teach thousands of students how to do technical analysis like you see myself and Tim doing here on this channel every single day. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis, I highly encourage you to do so. Check the link in the description box down below. You will find the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, which is currently undergoing a major update. And by the way, Bybit is a fantastic exchange. If Binance and Coinbase don't tickle your fancy, I have a feeling Bybit will. It is an exchange that I personally use and I think has been very good to me. Great customer service, very great uptime, very simple user interface, and it is leverage enabled. If any of you guys have not already signed up for Bybit, if you do so with our link in the description box down below, you will be greatly supporting this channel, and I thank you for that.
Yep.
What do we have in chat, Tim? Any
I think
super
we have
chats?
a couple of super chats, and then we'll be able to wrap out this Friday stream.
Yeah,
But we
awesome.
got, let's see, I don't think we've touched any of these. Paul Zimmer, I think he has 2 of them, but one of them, the first one says, I've been running into a lot of Tether and Bitfinex fraud news. Is it real or is it just FUD?
Tether and Bitfinex have been in the news for fraud for the last 3 years. Quite frankly, everybody is always saying that there's fraud going on with them. They're still around.
My question on that is the reason why I think it potentially might be FUD is because who are the people that have been going after Tether? It's a lot of government officials. It's a lot of people who are very much invested in the concept of creating stable coins or coins based off of fiat currency. So is that just as the U.S. and China and other countries are trying to create their own digital currencies? Is that them saying, hey, our number one competitor is going to be this guy over here named Tether? Let's fill the market with FUD about them so that we can potentially get in a little higher.
Yep.
That's just my take. I don't know for certain though. John Atkinson said, shout out to Jebb for creating CT2A. It is absolutely fantastic and is great value at any price. Keep the videos coming, my brother.
Thank you very much, John.
Yes, this today. What is coming out today?
Is the cup and handle pattern? The cup and handle pattern video is coming out today.
And then next Friday, what's coming out next Friday?
We have a video coming out on Lux Algo.
Yes,
we're going to be talking about Lux Algo.
Very
helpful.
Paul Zimmer came back. He said, also, good morning. Looking great, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
And then we had 2 super chats, one from Maxwell Steele and one from Stephen Blalock. And they both said the same thing. And it is Savage Schmay. I saw a comment saying that if we play paintball with BitBoy, what's going to happen is that Smay is going to take out BitBoy's entire team and then turn on me and Jebb.
Oh, no.
That can't happen because Smay and I have an alliance. So maybe he turns on Jebb. We'll see.
Come on. Y'all be cheating over here.
Guys,
You gotta yell.
I just want you guys to know that I will fight for our honor in a battle of who is the greatest cryptocurrency paintball players. I will deflect all their paintballs with my body so that my team can win, and I will take out their entire team because I'm not scared of BitBoy or TJ or anybody on that team. You hear me? I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
I can't wait to watch that
Me
back
neither.
later.
Yeah, I know.
All right, last super
Someone
chat.
needs to clip that and tweet it at us. That'd be funny.
Last super chat was from Matt C. He said, I just wanted to wish all of you all a happy 4th of July.
Sir.
And to our foreign friends in the chat, we celebrate you too. Freedom should be universal. That's why I love Bitcoin so much.
Let's go, Matt C.
Matt C. is such a great guy.
God
Matt,
bless you, man.
You need to move to Gainesville
Yes,
and come
Matt.
hang out with us.
Yeah, you need to come hang out with us. Maybe grab a job here. We're always looking for more people.
Yeah. Oh, last one.
Last one?
Corey says Smay inside voices. Now, I mean,
Oh, my gosh.
he has to. I mean, I'll have to play it back to see how loud he actually is.
think it's
but
pretty
he's
loud.
pretty far away from the mics. But yeah,
That's hilarious.
That is it.
Guys, that's all we got for you today. If you enjoyed today's stream, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and by the way, make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok over at CryptoJebb on Instagram and Twitter, and at CryptoJebb Official on TikTok. By the way, we have an announcement to make regarding the
My bad. Okay, yes. All right, guys. Yesterday I misspoke, and I am deeply apologetic. It is not an hour-long kickback with Jebb. It is simply a half hour. Maybe in the future we'll do hour-long ones.
Yes, sir.
But this is a giveaway, so if you want a half hour with Jebb, you know what? I can throw in there. I don't know if anyone wants it, but I guess we can add in a half hour with Jebb, half hour with Tim, or half hour with Smay, whichever you guys would prefer.
Let's go.
So that was my bad. I do know yesterday, temporarily, the link was it wasn't working correctly.
It was a little
But
busted.
make sure, if you didn't get in yesterday, it's still up there.
Yep.
I think it's open until the 5th, right? People can enter all the way up until the 5th.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I know it works because I signed up for it last night.
Ooh.
Yeah.
30 minutes with yourself.
I'm really interested. I know. Getting
Wow.
30 minutes to myself in this office would be amazing. I'm just saying.
Wow. That's a play right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you get 30 minutes with me or Smay, so.
I don't need more time with y'all. I get plenty of time with
true.
y'all.
All right, yeah, one more super chat. Kryptonian, we got extended because of my mistake yesterday. He said, can you all explain the purpose of stablecoins? How do you use it? Kryptonian, that is something we will have to talk about in the future. So, yeah.
That is.
Don't do that, Smay.
Do not do
listen
that.
to Smay.
I'm joking.
Yeah, we will cover that fully. You have a quick, 10-second answer for him,
Yes,
Jebb?
the purpose of stablecoins is to be able to cash out of whatever trade you're in so that you don't have to worry about the market moving, because ideally they shouldn't be moving because they are stable.
Boom.
Boom.
That is it.
There you go.
That's a fancy way of saying avoiding taxes.
That's not. It's not about avoiding taxes. Smay, you
don't
ruined
avoid
everything.
taxes.
First of all, you
Don't
broke your
avoid
microphone.
taxes.
Next, you challenged BitBoy to something. Then you break all of. I don't know.
Smay was off his leash today.
All right, guys,
Smay's
I'm
off his
sorry,
leash.
I'm sorry. I'll just stop.
Guys, that's all we got for you today. If you enjoyed today's video, smash that like button. We're going to head out, though. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching. As always, I will see you on Monday, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.